Transformers more than meets the eyes. This is Chucky from Collecting for Fun, and I have a very special video for you today. This is one of my favorite Transformers from the original cartoon series. Of course, this is Dinobot Grimlock. And I've always loved the Dinobots, and I was itching to get my hands on this Studio Series 86 version of Grimlock. And the reason we are not unboxing this fellow is because I was very late to the game in collecting this series. I didn't start collecting this series until this year. And by the time I realized there was a Grimlock, of course it had been long sold out. And so I was only able to get this secondhand. And here he is. This is Grimlock. And we have him. And I'm happy to have been able to obtain this version of Grimlock. So let's have a look at this robot here. This is a very large transformer. This is a leader class transformer from what it says, from what I read about it. And you can see that, this is pretty articulate, like most of the, pretty much all so far of the Studio 86 Transformers. You can, very highly posable. The Dinobots always had wide feet, so that is very great. You can see the back, very reminiscent of the cartoon series. And and as you know, with the 86 series, they really have done a great job of making these Transformers very cartoon accurate in both their robot form and their alternate form, in this case dinosaur form. So this is the size of Grimlock. Very well articulated, very cool transformer. You can see the head there. You can see the Autobot symbol is kind of hidden inside there. Now I think there might be two versions of this, because I've seen one like this online and I've seen one with a more yellowy plate, so I'm not sure. I think they made two versions of this, because I was looking at it, did I get a fake version? But no, this is the real version. But I think there might be an alt mode of this. So anyways, this is Grimlock from behind. I picked this up at the Transformer Con, so I was very happy to find one, because you can imagine how popular this sucker was at the show. And so we're going to be transforming this in a second. I figured before we do that, let's have a look at Grimlock size comparison. So in the movie, you see him hanging out a lot with this little fella. So you can see how small Wheelie is. And Wheelie, often was riding on top of Grimlock. So I'm not sure if this thing is built to sit on his shoulder or not. But I guess because Wheelie's pretty flexible, we can have him sit on his shoulder like so. Not a big issue. You can see he's got a slingshot. So, Grimlock's got his little buddy there. So let's see, how about the other ones? So we do have a Ironhide. You can see he is almost double the size of Ironhide. We have RC here, and you know what my thoughts on RC are if you watched my video. It looks great, but what a pain in the butt to transform. I don't know who else has RC and had trouble transforming it. I am still kind of, I think I have PTSD transforming that Transformer. Anyways, there is Bumblebee. So you can see how they scale. So the one thing about this series, they're all supposed to scale to one another. So you can see how much smaller Wheelie is compared to Bumblebee, and then Bumblebee to RC, and then to Ironhide, and then finally Grimlock. Grimlock just dwarfs him. He's almost the same size as all four put together, I think. I could be wrong about that, but it's pretty darn close. So that's how they scale together. And so that is Grimlock. And eventually we're going to be reviewing all the Dinobots. Obviously Swoop is not quite available yet, but we'll be trickling those videos in time, absolutely. Here again is Grimlock. Let's see how he transforms. I'm going to pop these guys off screen, and let's get her done. So I'm going to be honest, I am not an expert at transforming this, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So first the first thing we do is we're going to spin these hands in. So we're going to turn these hands over here, flip these things out. We'll do the same thing over here. Flip those things out. Okay. Oops. Come on. All right. We're going to straighten the arms up here. Let me zoom out so you can see that part. We're going to straighten the arms out here. Get those arms straight. All right. Very good. So let's work on the feet first. If I recall the instructions I saw online, we were working a bit on the feet first. So to work on the feet, this is where the tail comes in. Okay. So we're going to flip these pieces out. And we're going to flip this out here. And you can see the tail starting to take shape there. We're going to actually take the tail, has a swivel. So we're going to bend it once and then bend it out again to make the tail. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And I hope I'm doing this right because I'm not sure. I can't always remember all the order I'm supposed to do this in. But we get the concept there. We're going to now flip this leg down. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Let's move this torso. Try to bend this leg down without breaking the tail. Come on. There we go. Bend that in. Okay, so that allows us to start creating the tail part. This part just folds in there. This part folds into there. And so now we have a tail. Okay, very good. I think I did that part right. Now for the front. So for the front, we have to bring this chest piece down. So we're going to loosen that down here, and that kind of fits for the bottom. And then we're going to flip the head down. And now we have to kind of finish this part here. So this part swivels into this joint here. This chest plate comes down on both sides. All right. And I think that locks up at some point in time. I think I actually have to move yes, I have to move this head first into there before we close this up, I think. Oh, there we go. All right, so we just close out that part there, and we have Grimlock. So the arms do swivel. They're on ball joints, so they move. Okay. And so we'll get the legs kind of down a bit to stabilize it with the tail. But yeah, there, my friends, is Grimlock. Now there is a place to put his gun. If you look right there, there's two little slits there. So the slits on that are supposed to go into there. So you have to line it up carefully. Oops. Let me just do it like this. Don't know how well that holds, but there we go. I don't know why the gun sits like that. I would much prefer it sit upright so I can actually fire, but who knows. So there's Grimlock's, everyone. So let's zoom out a little bit. Grimlock, obviously, one of the most popular Transformers. It's still, it's not a vehicle, of course. The mouth does open. Let's move that mouth open. Me, Grimlock, kick butt. There we go. So there's Grimlock in his dinosaur mode. Very impressive mode there. Very reminds me of the cartoon series. Also very, reminds me very much of the original toy as well. Obviously the original toy was die cast. Probably the coloration is a little bit different. There's obviously the Autobot symbol on the chest there. So that's very nice. I have no idea if you have to apply your own stickers to this one because I said I bought this second hand. But I was glad to get it. As I mentioned, you can see in dinosaur mode. Let's bring out the characters again. even in dinosaur mode, Grimlock still makes these other Transformers look pretty small. You know? And I'm just wondering, now that I saw there's this little ball slot right there. I don't know if Wheelie's supposed to go on that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. I have no idea. Because Wheelie can sit on Grimlock, I guess. Why not? He can ride Grimlock. I mean, I think he rode him for half the movie. So, yeah, there he is. So, yeah, and so this Grimlock's supposed to come with a wheelie. I think the seller must have lost it or something. So this wheelie I got, actually, you see, I can post a link to the opening of this wheelie. But we got this separately, and it scales very nicely with Grimlock. And I have no idea how this, if this wheelie is exactly the same as the one in the that came with it, or is it a little bit different? I didn't really have a great look at the pictures or whatnot when I was looking at it, but it might. I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, let's have a look at these guys again. Yeah, he scales very, very nicely. You know, that's a pretty good there. So yeah, I like the set. I think it looks pretty cool. This Grimlock here, I should say. We're going to take these figures out, and we, just like most of our videos, we're going to transform Grimlock back into his robot form. And I always find transforming the Transformers back into robot form a little bit easier. Just because, especially as you see, most of my videos are unboxing, so I'm transforming it for the first time. This one I was able to kind of fiddle with it a little bit beforehand, just so I can kind of play with it. I figured I better, since I don't have the excuse of fumbling it, since I never even touched a Transformer before. This one I'm actually touching the Transformer, so I better make sure I do it right. So let's transform this back. We're going to pop Grimlock's head back. We're going to flip this chest plate out and start to, I think we can pop this chest plate out. You have to move these legs a bit. Okay, there we go. Pop the chest plate out a bit. There we go. So these kind of go back there. Let's pop the head up. There we go. So I think the arms are supposed to kind of come up like that. Okay, there we go. So let's bring these up again. We'll move the chest plate up. We will fix the hands after. We're going to work on the tail part and get his feet out. So again, we're going to kind of separate the legs. Kind of get them out a bit. We are going to move this part out here. Now, this is pretty ingenious how they did this, because it's very simple but ingenious. So we're going to flip the tail back in. Oh, I think I caught on this little joint here. Let's get back in there. Okay, there we go. So that part's done. We're going to flip the leg out and then flip this in. And then we're going to flip this foot thing back. Good. And now we got to do the same thing for the other foot. And we're going to flip this foot back. We're going to just kind of tuck this tail back in, flip this in that way, and just flip this foot thing back too. All right, so we are almost done with Grimlock. The last but not least, let's get his arms right. We're going to flip that in. We're going to flip the arm or hands out. So I really do like this Transformer. Quite large. I would say pretty straightforward to transform compared to some molds I've seen. Although it has more, I think, steps, maybe, than RC. Much easier to do than RC and getting her joints all slapped together. So I much prefer this transformation. Again, there's Wheelie. You can see he's a midget compared to um, to Grimlock there. We'll pop him up there so he can get his slingshot ready and get ready to blast some Decepticons through there, or Sharkticons. We get a little buddy Bumblebee there, and we'll get a Ironhide there. So I'm starting to build a family here, you know, and we're going to add more. I think I've missed my chance to get Ultra Magnus. I hope I can get him. I saw him at the show, and I was kind of hoeing and hawing about getting him, and then next thing you know, he was sold out. So it's like a little bit of regrets, eh? First world problems. So there we go. There is Grimlock with his buddy Wheelie on top, and all those guys on the side there. So yeah, so let us know. I love both modes of Grimlock here. I think they did a really good job with this set. It's a really nice toy, really nice transformer. Now, it's really hard to get. I mean, you can go ahead. I think they're going for a few $100s now, like more. I think like triple when it first came out. So I mean, if you want to shell out the bucks, you certainly can. I bought mine second hand, so I didn't have to shell it out because I figured I was going to open it anyway. So what was the point to put out all the big bucks for that? I really hope that Hasbro is going to re-release this toy, because this one I believe came out in what they call Phase 1. It was one of the first ones that came out. So a lot of fans like myself and many others did not get this set when it came out, because I mean it was not even on my radar when this set came out. I was kind of not looking at Transformers at the time, and I really wish I picked up this set when it came out, because I'm looking at the newer Dinobots and I'm like, oh man, these are really nice sets. And I was like, the only way to complete it is get Grimlock. So here we got Grimlock, and I'm just waiting. I do have the other ones. We're going to review those in separate videos, and we'll combine all the Dinobots together and try to make a giant Dinobot happy family. So we'll definitely get that video out to you at some point in time, but we won't be able to complete it until Swoop comes. So that's hopefully upcoming soon. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think of the Studio Series 86 Transformer Grimlock, and what you think of the series as a whole. You know, I think they've done a really good job. Some of the transformations are a little trickier than others, but others are pretty manageable. And so far, I'm liking this series. I like the fact that they scale with each other. I have heard that people have an issue with Ultra Magnus. And honestly, I like the figure looks amazing. But it looks, when you see it scaled to everyone else, it looks like a giant. So we'll see how that goes. I'm wondering how they're going to do Megatron, because they obviously, with that gun law, I mean, I don't know with toys. I don't know how they can actually make a Megatron. They might have to skip that one. I'm not sure because they. You know, if they do a Studio Series 86, they can't make it a tank. They have to make it a gun, because that's how he was in the movie. So I have a feeling we may never see a Megatron. I hope we do, but I have a feeling we may not. So, well, anyways, this is the Studio Series 86. Yeah, let us know who you want to see them make. I'm hoping, as I said, they do Megatron, but who knows. The other thing I know that will be very hard to do is Unicron, because there's no way they can make that to scale. So they might have, I don't know how they're going to do Unicron. I'm sure they can, but they'll have to scale, they're going to have to scale that down. It's going to be a lot closer to maybe like, I mean, maybe it'll be 4 times the size of Grimlock, but they can't make it to scale. There's no way. So let us know in the comment section what you think and what you want to see. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we are going to try to get our hands on a Robosen Grimlock. Wouldn't that be cool? A walking, talking, auto-transforming Grimlock. with the original voice actor. So that's going to be amazing. So please help us get there, 1,000 subscribers. So please come when you see the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It'll help us out, and we will all kind of share in that benefit when I review that Dinobot there. So again, this is Chucky from Collecting for Fun. Thank you so much for watching. You guys take care. We'll see you soon.